Listo, my dear people. So I'm recording this session now. Bueno, so today we're going to be here working around the class number 3.1. As you can see here in the screen, we're going to be working on the class number 3.1. Tomorrow we're going to be working in the class number 3.2, right? But tonight is going to be just the class 3.1. So the idea of this class is that I'm going to start asking a question, and then based on that question, we're going to be working on the whole class, right? So, Danny, now that you have the microphone off, on, sorry, could you please help me to read the question that you have there?
Of course, if you had the chance to what culture, second, would you like to know?
Good, very good. So if you had the chance, in the hypothetical case that you had the chance to know any culture in the world, what culture would you like to know? What culture would you like to know? Probably the Aztec culture, the Maori culture, maybe the indigenous culture here in Colombia, the Aborigine African cultures. No sé, what culture would you like to know? What do you think?
I think Mayans.
The Mayans. Okay, good. So Daniel would like to know the Mayans, the Mayan culture. Good, okay. The other people, Majo?
Hi, teacher. I would like to know Korean culture. I'm really obsessed about Korean culture.
Okay, but the current Korean culture now, like the K-pop, the K soap operas, the K shows, all of that, right?
Everything about Korean people.
Okay, okay. Also a little bit about the history, maybe a little bit of the historical.
Yes.
Yeah, good, excellent.
Because I have seen a lot of TV shows from Korea, so I'm obsessed because of that.
Okay, yeah, it's actually a pretty curious culture, no? It has like it's very elegant, but at the same time, it's kind of unequal in some parts of the society.
Yes.
Good. Okay, Majo, good, thanks. What about Santi, Marta, Tati?
I would like to know the Asian culture.
One in specific, like, sorry, the Asian culture, but like Japanese culture, Chinese culture.
Japanese.
Japanese culture. Okay, good, got it. Very good. That's it. Okay. Tati, Marta, any culture in general? In my case,
I
well,
will like to know maybe the European culture.
But well, in the European culture, we have a different ones, no? For example, the Italian culture, the French culture, the
Italian culture.
Okay, maybe the Italian culture. No, muy bien, that's it. Well, I was going to say the same, but okay, good. I also would like to know the Italian culture. Also, I would like to know the Maori culture, you know? Maori, it's a tribe from the Oceania. It's like in New Zealand, in Samoa Oriental, all of that. There it's the Maori culture, no? So I would like to know it. And Tati, what about you, my dear?
I would like to know about Tibetan culture.
I'm sorry, Tibetan is with TH or just with TI?
I think it's TI.
TI? Like that, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Good. Well, so you told me some cultures that you would like to know, right? And I suppose that it has a reason. Like, for example, Maho told us that she's obsessed with the Korean culture, right? I am a little bit obsessed with the Italian culture and also with the Maori culture and the indigenous cultures, no? Like the Mayans, the Aztecs, all of that, because they have different customs, no? Do you know what is the meaning of costume? Customs with this, like this, it's costumbres, exactly. Very good. Costumes with E at the end is trajes or it's frases, right? With E at the end, but like this is only costumes, right? So in that case, guys, the idea is that we're going to be talking about like different ways in which we can describe typical things in different places or in different cultures, no? When we want to talk about this kind of, this kind of typical things, we're going to have the possibility to use very simple structures, like, for example, these ones, right? I'm sorry. We have the question, it's the costume or is acceptable too, right? In that case, we have it is taking into account that we are going to talk about a situation or an action, right? And then we say that it's the costume or is acceptable to, and then of course, as is to, it's going to introduce a verb in the infinitive form. It means in the very basic form, right? These two expressions are going to help me to introduce things first, which is very typical in the culture, or things which is acceptable. I mean, it's not typical. I mean, it's something that can happen. It's not the custom, it's not always the same, but it's something that can happen, right? For example, I know that in Colombia, it's acceptable. It's acceptable to be a little unpunctual. I mean, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be. It's not a good idea. But it is what happened, no? So it is acceptable to be a little unpunctual. They tell you 3 p.m., so you arrive at 4 p.m., right? So it is accepted to be a little unpunctual. Now, it's not the custom, or well, depending on the situation, it's the custom. But when I talk about it's the custom, it's the things that are typical, traditional in one place. If I say it is acceptable, it's just some things that happen. They are not the canon, they are not the standard, but they happen, right? That's referring in general to the situation, but I can have other expressions which are going to refer directly to the person, right? The people, the women, the men, the kids, the students, or any subject here that we can change. And then we're going to use the expression is or are, of course, verb to be, yes. And then suppose or expected to. Same way is going to introduce a verb in infinitive form. When I say that somebody is supposed to or somebody is expected to, it's because it's what the people normally do, right? For example, on Halloween, people are expected, like in general, no? Especially kids, but nowadays it's also the adult people. So people are expected to wear costumes, no? So like that. So in that case, when I say people are expected to wear costumes, yes, or the people are expected to eat a lot of candy or a lot of chocolate, no? So in that case, when I'm using this expression is supposed or is expected to, I am more referring to what the people, the subject especially, is expected or normally is going to do. Here, when I use it is the custom or it is acceptable, we mention the situation, not the subject, not the person, but the situation, right? Any questions around these four expressions? They're super easy, but I don't know, questions?
No, teacher.
Okay, they're easy, no? Well, first of all, what are some of the costumes or like traditions that you know from us, from Colombians? One of those costumes that you think like, well, this is strange, this is like something weird. What are some of those costumes that we have here in Colombia, like traditions?
It's the customs to celebrate the Mother's Day.
Especially in this month, no? So
Yeah.
it is the custom to celebrate Mother's Day. Good, very good. And what are the people supposed to do on Mother's Day? What is the most common situation? What is the custom there?
Repeat, teacher, sorry, the question?
Yeah, what is the common way to celebrate the Mother's Day? What's the custom in that case?
It's the custom to go to the special restaurant, maybe.
Of course, it's the custom to invite your mother out to a special restaurant. Good. Question. Is it acceptable to invite grandmas too, or only the mother? Or is it acceptable to invite your grandma?
It's
Yes.
usually that you invite your grandma.
Yeah, of course. No, if you want to, it's acceptable to invite your grandma, sometimes your aunt, no, like the mothers of the family, the women of the family who are mothers. No, that's it.
And mother-in-law.
Ah, yeah, okay, yes, true. The mother-in-law, maybe my sister-in-law, if she's a mom too, no, it could be, right? Very good, excellent. And in this celebration, which is especially for the women, right? Who are supposed to pay the bills in the restaurant? Who are supposed to pay the bills?
Sons and daughters.
Exactly. No, the children are supposed to pay the bills, right? So as you can see here in this like unique situation, talking about Mother's Day, we have different things to express. It is the custom to invite your mother to the restaurant. Now, it is acceptable, it's not the custom, but it is acceptable to invite other women like aunts, mothers-in-law, grandmothers, all of that. The kids, or well, not the kids, the children are supposed to pay for the lunch, no? So in that case, one thing is referred to the situation. It's the custom, it is acceptable. Other thing, it's referred to the person. So the kids are supposed to pay, the husband is supposed to pay, well, whatever, no? Muy bien, that's it. What other customs do we have here in the country? Another customs, do we have other?
It's the custom to turn on candles on 7th of December.
True. Is the custom to light candles. When I say turn on, is like something electrical, like the light, like the
Okay.
cell phone. But when I say a candle, it's light a candle.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Is the custom to light candles on December the 7th, right? Very good. Is it acceptable? Well, is it costume or is it acceptable? I don't know, to drink on that day?
It is acceptable.
Okay, that's it. Very good. Perfect, right? So in this case, we're going to have the different ways to do it. Sometimes we are referring to the situation, sometimes we're referring to the subject, right? As we did it here with our Colombian culture, right? You can also do it talking about the cultures that you mentioned before. For example, I want to know the Maori culture because there it's accustomed to I don't know, is accustomed to train your body. So I like that, of course. And also because men are expected to I don't know, defend the tribe. Defend the tribe. Right? So in that case, those things make me like the culture, the Maori culture, no? The Maori, how did you say that? The Maori, yeah, the Maori like mini civilization, no? What about you? What are the things that you like from those cultures that you mentioned? What are the customs there, or what are the people expected to do there or supposed to do there in those cultures?
Teacher, the Asian Japanese culture, it's the custom to be disciplined.
It's the custom, it's the custom to be disciplined. Good, excellent. Very good. That's something great, Santi. Excellent. It's important. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other reason, Santi, maybe?
No, teacher.
No, that's it. Okay. Okay. What about the other people? Danny, Marta, maybe, Majo, Chat, maybe.
Maybe in Italian culture, it's the custom to eat pizza. I don't know.
Sure, and yes, totally true. It's a custom to eat pizza and all derivatives from pasta, no? It's like It's the custom to eat pasta and its derivatives, right? Something that I like, for example, from the Italian culture is that the people, in general, people are supposed to spend much time with family. So when the people go to other house, like move alone, anyway, they are expected to come back to have lunch with the grandma, with the mom, with the father, no? So it's a very familiar culture. So people are supposed to spend much time with family. That is something that I like too, no? Okay, very good. Bueno, muy bien. What about the Tibetan culture or the Korean culture or the Mayan culture?
Well, one of the most important things that I really love about Korean culture is the respect. They are so respectful with everything, with veterans. For example, when they say hi or bye or thank you, they always do a reverence, like a little reverence. And I think that that is so cute. Even if someone is older than them, like 1 or 2 years older, they use honorifics to talk to them. And I think that is so cool because for me, respect is like the most important thing in the world.
Wonderful, my dear. Excellent. So in general, in the Korean culture, you are supposed and you are expected now to be respectful. Yeah, it's necessary that the person is respectful. Muy bien, that's great. Very good. So you could say, for example, it is the custom or it is typical to, it is the custom.
I forgot about that.
So it is the custom to use honorifics, no, in the names.
Mm-hmm.
In their names. Okay, good. Excellent, Mahwa. Thank you so much. What about the Tibetan culture? Because I'm curious about that one.
If you, in the Tibetan culture, if you live, I don't know, how do you say it, when you don't live in the city, instead you live
Like,
in far away from the city,
okay, good.
you, is the custom to move constantly, move from one side to another side, and you have
Oh,
to walk a lot of distances and move
oh
your
my God.
farm,
Okay.
your cows. It is, they don't have cows, they have jacks, I think. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah. I think the jacks are like those big bulls, like mountain
Yes.
bulls, something like that, no?
Yes.
Mm. Okay, so it's the custom to move a lot, sorry. Okay, good, important, good. That's it. Danny, what about the Mayan culture? What in that case, of course, it is not the custom, but it was the custom because it was before all the people were expected to because it was before. Now the Mayan culture, it's not really active, but well, Danny.
Well, I was reading today that they had a kind of a sport similar to soccer, but it is you have to play it with any part of your body. Because the ball you could just can't touch the floor. So that was the only one sport that they had, the only one sport that they had in those times.
And
So
what was the purpose of that game? What was the purpose? Like,
it is no, it was more like expecting that you get recognized the gods that you were good in this game. So
okay,
it
yeah, no,
is
but what I mean is like, what was the objective of the game? It was putting a ball into a
it was more like getting recognized, ser reconocido, recognized
recognized.
be their god. But so it was expected that from when you had around 10 years, you already can play this game.
Okay. Okay, good. But the game was played with one ball, and the purpose was to put the ball inside the hole, no, inside the ring.
Yes.
That was the yeah. So the players were supposed or were expected to put the ball, like put the ball through, or bueno, más bien pass the ball, no? Pass the ball through the ring. Through the ring. Muy bien, excellent. With any part of the body, the players were supposed to use any part of the body, the hips, the arms, the legs, I think so. Like, good, excellent. So in this case, what you mentioned were some different cultures that, well, we have seen in the cultures that there's some different habits, sorry, or customs that we have seen in those cultures, no? I would like you to tell me if you know something which is prohibited in those cultures. For example, as far as I know, in the Maori culture, it's not acceptable to how do you say that? To escape from a fight. So if the tribe has a fight, the whole people has to fight. It is not acceptable to escape from a fight, right? It's impossible for them, right? Tell me in your cultures one thing that is not acceptable, that the people don't accept in that way. Ready? In this case, of course, we can see that these structures can be also used in the negative form. Of course, using the negative form of the verb to be. It is not the custom. It is not acceptable. You are not supposed to, or you are not expected to, right? So the negative form is going to be equally the same, just using the negation with the verb to be. So in those cultures, guys, tell me something which is not acceptable.
Teacher, in Italian, it's not acceptable to take photos in the Sistine Chapel.
No way, seriously?
Yes, I read right now in
My
Google.
God. No, so I
Yes,
didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay, so it is not acceptable to take photos in the 16th chapel. Thank
yes.
you, Marta. I didn't know that. Okay. Muy bien, very good. ¿Qué más? Any other?
Teacher, in Japan, is not acceptable with the resources.
Of course, it is
Was.
not acceptable to waste resources. Good.
Mhm.
Water, light, I suppose. Good. Perfect. Okay, okay. What else?
In the Korean culture, it is not acceptable to be single at 40, maybe, because you're a loser then.
Oh my God. If you are a loser, pardon, if you are single at that time, do they get you married by force or something?
Yes, the parents will make whatever to get you a wife or a husband. Even if you are 30 something, yeah, they already start to looking for someone because it's terrible for
Oh
them.
my God. Majo, one question. What about if you like the people from the same sex? I mean, if you are gay or if you're a lesbian, how can they deal with that?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I know they are so like they don't like that.
Mhm.
They are a little homophobic, but I don't know about marriage of the same sex.
Okay,
I'm
got
gonna
it.
investigate about that.
Maybe, because it's a little bit strange. No, but okay, I have listened to the scene. Okay, thank you, Mamo. Thank you so much. Well, what about the Tibetan culture? Something which is not accepted there.
In Tibetan culture now, unfortunately, it isn't acceptable to take pictures to Chinese authorities.
Okay, it is not acceptable to take pictures of the Chinese authorities. Okay, got it. Like, I suppose it is prohibited. Good. Okay, very good. Thank you, Ted. And Danny, what about the Mayans?
I don't know. In this case, it's hard for me to answer that question.
Okay. Well, anyway, you can invent it, no problem. You can just invent it, no problem.
Well, I know that only how to say, the king is the
Yeah.
only one that can sacrifice people. He's the one who decides who can do it.
Okay, so I suppose that it was not acceptable to refuse a sacrifice. No, no, no,
Yes,
I don't want to be sacrificed. No, nothing. You gotta be, right?
yes. If the king said that, you have to do it.
My God. No, my. Okay, thank you then. Bueno, so in this case, as you can see, these expressions are super simple because they use a basic structure, which is using the verb to be, then using an adjective, and then the adjective we have followed with to, which is going to lead, of course, to a verb in the infinitive form, o sea, in the basic form, no? So in this case, of course, we have the subject that can be it or can be you, right? Then it is the custom, it is acceptable, it is normal, it is not normal, no, it is not acceptable, it is not the custom, or you are expected to, you are supposed to, you are required to is like como forzado a, no? So you are required to do something, you are forced to do something, you are supposed to do something. So in that case, it's the same structure, it's just going to change the adjective. So the sense of the expression is going to change too, right? Bueno, my dear. So, hasta ahí alguna pregunta? Any question with this part?
No, teacher.
Easy, right? It's very easy. Okay, now, if you would like to know these country, these cultures, I suppose that you would like to travel to these territories. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so Tati would like to travel to the Tibet.
I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
Sorry, my dear. Sorry.
I didn't hear.
I've been just thinking that if you want to know these cultures, it's because you would like to visit these countries. Am I right?
Ah, yes, of course.
Of course. Maho would like to go to South
Of course.
Korea.
Yes, and marry a Korean.
Is that true? I didn't
Yes.
know. Okay, good. Well, I have to accept that they are very handsome, not so the facts are very delicate, so they are handsome, no?
So handsome.
Okay, great. Santi, would you like to go to Japan? I suppose.
Yes, teacher, I would like.
Of course. Danny, would you like to go to the Mayan region, like which is Mexico and some part of Central America?
Yes, I'm going to Mexico in August. That's why I'm getting used with them.
Good. But where are you going to go? To which part of Mexico? To the center or to the coast?
Coast and center.
Okay, because in the coast, in the, you know, like in the, I forgot how to use, what is the name of that beach? Cancun, it's of course the Mayan part. And in the
Yes.
center is more like the Aztec part, no? Like it's the other culture, but good. They are lovely culture. It's lovely. Okay, very good. Marta, would you like to go to Italy, I suppose?
Yes, teacher, of course, someday.
Someday, of course. And Tati, would you like to visit the Tibet? I mean, or just the culture, but you wouldn't like to go there because it's kind of dangerous and stuff.
I would like buy, but it's too expensive. It's too far from here.
Is also too far and also too expensive, right? Well, so we're going to have the purpose in our minds, the hypothetical situation that we are visiting that country, right? So, or that culture. So in that case, we're going to find, for example, one plate or one action. We're going to have different details that I would like you to complete. For example, what is one dish that you would like to try? Is there a plate that you would like to try?
I have a whole list of many things. There is a beer. No, it's not a beer. It's like a alcohol that is called soju. That I have seen it in all the TV shows that I have seen from Korea, and I have tried it, but I think that it is not the same como el de allá.
Yeah, as the one there, no? As there.
Yes.
Yeah, probably it's not the same, no? Probably it's not the same.
Yes.
Okay. Have you tried kimchi?
No, but I want to. But I have I have read that its flavor is awful, but it seems like like cool. So I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe.
no, well, you have to try. Maybe because of your love
Mhm,
to the culture, maybe you like the flavor. That could be a
mhm.
possibility. Okay, very good. Y so Majo, the sonju, which is that alcoholic beverage. Good. Any other, like one plate or one dish that you would like to try?
Yes, I would like to try uh, sampa, to eat sampa. It's like the typical food.
In Tibet.
And yes, and they
What is
eat.
it, Tati?
It's like a mixture with flavor from, I don't know how do you say cebada and another cereales.
Bueno,
I don't know
like
how to say.
grains, somewhere like cereals or
Yes,
grains, yeah?
grains.
Mm-hmm.
And they mix it with some tea and drink tea too with jack butter.
Okay.
That's what they usually eat. But of course, I am talking about the people who don't live in the city. It's usually but in the
In the mountain.
remote, yes, in the mountains.
Okay, very good.
Maybe it isn't too spicy because
Spicy. Yeah, yeah, I
spicy,
was
yes,
thinking like it doesn't
but
sound like delicious. I have to be honest, it
no.
doesn't sound delicious.
But I don't know. They live with that, so I have a lot of curiosity to know how it tastes. I can't imagine how it tastes.
No, it's difficult to imagine the mixture of flavors, no? It's difficult to imagine. Yeah. Okay, Tati, thank you so much. What about the rest? Do you have a dish?
Yes,
Teacher, bueno,
sorry.
okay.
I would like to because it's the more famous dessert in Italy, tiramisu.
Ah, tiramisu, the dessert. Okay, good, very good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I have never tried tiramisu. I have gone to a lot of Italian restaurants, but I always end up so full that I don't have a space for the dessert. So I never tried the tiramisu. But I have listened that it's delicious too. Mhm.
Yes, because it's made with coffee.
Sure.
It's delicious, but in Italian, I think it's very, very delicious. The
My God.
typical tiramisu.
I have to try
Yes.
it one day also, man. God. Okay, good. Thank you, Marta. And Santi, what about you, bro?
I would like to try the sushi, the original sushi from Japan.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, very good, perfect. Yeah, the Japanese idioms, of course, they have the sushi dishes that are very typical, maybe good.
Exactly.
Anything?
Mm, Pozole.
Ooh,
It
okay.
is from Mayans.
It's from the
It's
Mayans.
awful.
It's like, come on, Maho. Okay, Maho didn't like it. It's a little
No.
bit tasteless, no? It's a little bit
Uh-huh.
simple. Mm-hmm.
Awful.
So it's better not to try it.
Yes. Just try and you decide.
Yeah, better. And anyway, actually, most of the food in Mexico are plain until you put all the side dishes, no? They have a lot of side dishes, like
Mm-hmm.
sauces and everything. Most of
Yes.
the food is plain until you put all of that, then you
Mhm.
get the flavor.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good, excellent. Bueno, my dear people, what is the first action that you would do in that country? For example, the first action that I would do in New Zealand would be going to a rugby match. Like, you know, the sport rugby. I would like to go to see a match of that. That is the first action that I would do. What about you? What are the first action that you would do in those places?
Probably I would go immediately to the Potala Palace and see this built because I think it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
What is the name, Tati? What? I didn't get the name.
Potala Palace. I
And
don't know
that is-
if it's like the big monastery,
Ah,
like
okay.
and the place where is how do you say that? In
What
this
is what?
place lived in the past the how do you say it? I forgive all the names. Dalai Lama lived in the past in this
Okay.
place.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
So
Okay.
it's like our Nariño Pass,
Yeah.
but have a religious component. So it's like we're a monastery. Now I don't know how it functions, but it's
Probably it
beautiful.
maintains the function of monastery and touristic attraction. I would say so. Probably.
But it's really beautiful. It's incredible.
Okay, that is good. That's a great action. So going to visit the name it misses, but going to visit the monastery. Really good. What about the rest? What is the first action that you would do in that place?
I think the first thing that I would do is to have a walk for around the Han River that I have seen. It's so beautiful. And
Okay.
then go and find a guy.
Come on, you have you have time to do other things. Bueno, maybe finding a guy so he can be
I'm
your
just
tour guide.
joking. It's just a joke.
I know, honey. Maybe good. What is the name of the river? Sorry,
Han River.
Han, like H-A,
Han.
like that.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay, got it.
It's
Very
like
good.
in the center of Seoul.
So it crosses the middle of the city.
Mm-hmm. It's
Okay.
so long.
I didn't know about it. Good. Thank you, Maho. Good, very good. Okay, what about the others? In Italy, in Mexico, in Japan.
Teacher, I would like to know the castles and temples in Japan.
Okay, that would be the first thing to do. The first.
Exactly.
Okay, very good, perfect. Castles and temples, the history of the country. Good. Excellent, Santi. That's great. Danny, Marta, what about you?
In my case, I go in Cancun to pyramids.
Of course, you gotta go to Chichen Itza. Is that not that? Yeah, the Chichen Itza. Yeah, the Teotihuacan. It's in the center. That one is the Chichen Itza pyramids, right?
Yes, also I go to Teotihuacan.
Beautiful. Both are good, okay, but you would say first to Chichen Itza because that's the Mayan pyramids, huh?
Yes.
Okay, good, very good, excellent. And my dear Marta?
Teacher, I would like to know the Vatican, maybe.
Okay, the Vatican City, good, right in the middle of Rome. Okay, and finally, one person that you would choose to accompany you. Is there a person that you would like to go with?
I will like go to my mom or my husband.
With your mom or your husband? Okay, perfect. Clear people, good. What about the others?
I would like go with my daughter.
With your daughter, okay. How old is your daughter, Tati?
She's 9 years.
9 years old. Okay, no, she's big enough to travel there, to make the excursion there. No, so she's big enough, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I would say Maho, she would like to go alone because she's gonna find the man there, right?
No, I will go with my mom because she's even more obsessed than me
No way.
with Korean culture. So yes.
She would be the perfect trip for both.
Yes.
Okay, Maho, thank you so much. And guys, what about you?
I would like to go with my sister.
Okay, she also likes Japan.
Exactly.
Okay, good. And Danny, what about you?
I go to Mexico with my girlfriend.
Oh, of course, with your girlfriend. That's it. Very good. Does she like also the culture, the Mayan culture?
Yes, she was the one that obsessed me with that.
Okay, good. I'm seeing some patterns here. Like my mother is more obsessed than me. My girlfriend is more obsessed than me. Good. Okay. Bueno, guys, so in that case, what we saw is that we have specific details about a hypothetical situation. Of course, most of you told me, teacher, I would like to go, but it's very expensive. I would like to go, but it's very far. I would like to go, but one of other reasons, it's not like an easy trip to do. So in this case, the idea is that we're going to have talking about hypothetical situations, no? But hypothetical details. Wait, here. So we can talk about a plate, we can talk about an activity, we can talk about a person, right? And then like describe what would be that thing that I would do, or that person that I would go with, or that flavor that I would like to try. Ready? In this case, we're going to have a structure which is a little bit long, but it's easy, right? Which is going to introduce first that thing that I am talking about. If it's a person, if it's a place, if it's a plate, if it's a drink, if it's one thing, use it for actions especially, yes? And then what is what I would like to do with that person or with that plate, no? For example, one plate that I would like to eat is the, say, pozole, for example, right? So in the first part, I'm going to introduce what is what I'm talking about. Is it a plate? Is it a person? Is it a thing? Or an action, right? Then I'm going to introduce the I would, I would, right? Because remember that this is hypothetical. So I'm using the second condition, and it's in the condition that we could go to any country in the world. You said that you would like to go to this country. So in the hypothetical condition that you would go to those countries, what is that thing that you would, and then the action? For example, the thing that you would like to do, the place that you would like to visit, the action that you would like to do also, the flavor that you would like to try, yeah, and the place where you would like to go, right? So, and also here, we're going to talk about a little bit of the feelings, no? For example, if I went to the Maori culture or to the New Zealand country, I would feel very excited. Yes, very excited. ¿Por qué? Because I would like to try, or to see better, not like would like to see. I would like to see a haka dance. Well, the dance haka, it's like a ritual that they have before wars or before fights, no? So something that I would like to see. And that would make me feel very excited. So here, I can also include feelings. With what verb? With the adjective, with the verb, sorry, feel, or be, and then the adjective. Excited, nostalgic, sad, or depending how you would feel. After that, we're going to have the verb to be in any form. Could be is, or are, or could be, or might be, or would be, any form of the verb to be, and then the final part, the complement. In this case, guys, the complement, it's going to be two things. One, it's a possibility that we have a noun, o sea, a name, or if it's an action, that action is going to be introduced in the gerund form, right? I know that it's a little bit long, the structure, but actually it's very simple. For example, if I went to the, let's say, Italian culture, because I also wanted to go to the Italian culture. If I would like to go there, one place, I would visit, then the verb to be is the San Siro Stadium. It's a stadium in Milan. Entonces, the first place, or the one place I would like to visit is San Siro Stadium. Only the name, so only a noun. But if I am going to use an action, I can also do it, but the action would be in the ing. For example, one thing I would do is, and then the action in the ing is visiting San Siro Stadium. Right? So this is the structure that we're going to use to introduce those specific aspects about the thing, about the trip that we have, right? For example, you told me that you want to go with one person. If I went to Italy, the person, oh my God, sorry, the person I would go with or I would invite is my best friend, right? If I go to Italy, the person I go with is my best friend. So first I have the thing, no? So that is the person. Then the I would, which because it's a possibility, then the action, you know, go with con quien iría, the verb to be, and it's going to introduce the complement. The complement in this case is only the noun, which is my best friend, yes? If I am going to include an action, I can also do it using the ing. Ready? For example, you told me that the first action that you would do is, for example, Tatiana told me that she would like to visit the, what was the name, Tati? I forgot, I'm sorry. Visit the
Potala. Potala.
Potala. Potala, like that?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So she would say, okay, teacher, the first action that I would do, well, let's use the number. The first action that I would do, or that I do, yes, is what?
Visiting the Potala.
Is visiting the Potala, right? The Potala Monastery. The Potala Monastery. Oh my God, monastery. Muy bien, very good. So in that case, the first action, one more time, I would do, then the verb to be, and then the action in ing, visiting the Potala Monastery. Okay, good. Once again, if I want to use, for example, the dish, no? For example, Daniel told me, teacher, el pozole. That's the one that I want to try, yes? So how can you start that sentence? How could you start that sentence? If I say, el plato que me gustaría, how would you start that sentence?
Maybe saying something that I would like to eat is like
Is
changing pozole.
pozole, that's it. So something or some plate or the plate, whatever, something I would like to eat. Sorry, I would like to eat is pozole. That's it. Muy bien, excellent. That's great. Ready? So you can use this structure for talking about whatever that you want. For example, Marta told us, teacher, the thing that I would like to try or that I would like to eat is tiramisu, right? Easy, good. And also remember that we can talk about the feelings, no? So I would say I would feel like very excited because I would like to see a hack, right? Entonces I can say something or one thing I would feel excited about. If you notice, the adjectives are going to have a preposition afterwards. They have a preposition after the adjective. Something that I would feel excited about, yes, por lo que me sentiría emocionado, excited about is, and one more time, the action is see a haka. So the action is in ing. Something that I would feel excited about is seeing a haka. You know, in my case, that's same. And something that I would feel excited about. But I can also include bad feelings, no? So something that I would feel sad about is not understanding their language. For example, no, with ing. Something that I would feel confused about is trying to understand the culture, the customs that they have, no? It's a possibility. Something that I would feel angry about is having problems in the airport. Could be, no? So in this case, I'm going to describe also the feelings and what is that action or that thing that would produce that feeling on me. Ready? So think as a last part, how would you feel staying in those places? How would you feel? Would you feel stressed, relaxed, nervous maybe? No? Excited. I don't know. How would you feel being in those places? What do you think? How would be your feelings on that place?
One thing I will feel excited about is visiting a Vaticano.
Good, very good. So she said, one thing that I would feel excited, like, excited about is visiting the Vatican City. Very good, Marta. Excellent. Mhm. What else?
One thing I would feel real, really relaxed about is seeing Himalayan mountains.
Oof, can you imagine that? My God, it must be very relaxing, of course. Excellent, Tati. Very good. So something that I would feel excited, no, relaxed about. I can also use other prepositions, like for example, by, for, about, or with. So I would say it's a possibility. So something that I would feel relaxed for or relaxed by is seeing I forgot the name of the mountains. You tell me the name of the mountains, Tati.
Sorry?
What is the name of the mountain? Oh,
Himalayan
the
mountains.
Himalayan mountain. Thank you so much. So you can introduce with other prepositions, for example, by something that I would feel relaxed by is seeing the Himalayan mountains. Good. Muy bien, Tati. Excellent so much. What else? What about the others? How would you feel and why?
I think I will feel excited in swimming on a cenote because they are amazing.
Wait. Okay, can you listen to me?
I say that I will feel excited by swimming in a cenote. They are very amazing and beautiful.
The cenote are those holes on the land, on the ground?
Yes,
Okay, good. You could say also that. Very good. So you could say, for example, one thing I would feel, what was the adjective? Excited?
yes.
Yeah. One thing I would feel excited by or excited about is swimming on a cenote. That's great. Good. I have seen some of them. Oh my God. That is something that I would feel scared about. I don't know. I wouldn't feel excited, but scared about. Yeah. Okay, good. Very good, Daddy. Thank you so much. Santi, what about you? Majo?
One thing I would feel sad about is trying their food and it's not that good.
Oh my God. Okay, trying that food and not liking it. No, like trying it and not liking. Okay, Santi. Do you think that it can happen? That you don't like the sushi?
Maybe.
Ah, my God. Have you tried sushi here in Colombia?
Some plates
And what do
I
you
like
think?
it.
Okay, good. Now, so I think it's gonna be pretty similar, maybe. Okay, Santi, very good. And Majo, what about you, my dear?
Something I would be scared for is not being able to communicate.
What about your Korean lessons? How are they going?
Nothing. I just know how to say hello. That is 안녕하세요.
My God, well, that is something, that is something that at least for calling attention of the people,
But
at
but
least.
they speak English, so I think I can communicate with my bad English.
But my normal is bad. My God, come on, all of you have wonderful English, so don't worry. Okay, very good, guys. Excellent. So basically, with this structure, which is a little bit extensive, what we do is to introduce like a complementary sentence for the second conditional, no? Because remember that this is like a complementary part of the conditional in which we say, hey, if we had the chance to do this thing, for example, to go to Korea, to go to Japan, in the hypothetical case that we had the chance, and then we introduce one of the extra details, no? In that case, one thing I would do is visiting no sé qué. One thing I would feel scared about is not being able to communicate. One thing I would be sad about is trying the food and not liking it. Well, so on, so on. It's going to be introducing extra information about that hypothetical situation, no? In this case, the idea was to talk about cultures, like crossing cultures, and you did it, no? You did it because you mentioned the things that you like about those countries, like because it's the custom to do this, it's the custom to do that, right? Because it's acceptable to do this. Also because the people are supposed to do ta ta ta. Also the things that are not permitted in those places, like it is not acceptable to, right? And also you put yourself in the condition that you were knowing that culture and how would it be? So what is the first thing that you would eat? What is the first action that you would do? How would you feel and why? So we talk about like the culture in general terms from different perspectives, and in all of them, you did it correctly, okay? So guys, thank you for being here with me. It was all for today. See you tomorrow. I don't know, tomorrow, I think it's at, I mean, tomorrow is at 8 p.m., but somebody is
Yes.
missing. I don't know, somebody's not programmed here, but all of you program the class for tomorrow? No? Some of
No,
you?
it's me. I program right now.
Ah, okay, okay, got it. So like you are going to have the class in another schedule, right?
No, no, with you.
Ah, okay, but you're gonna do it right now.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Very good. So see you tomorrow in the second class. Tomorrow for the homework. I mean, the homework for tomorrow is super easy. Just think in an electronic device that is damaged. Think in an electronic device that is damaged. Maybe my old iPod, maybe my old MP3, maybe my old cell phone, maybe my old computer, or maybe in the house, no? Maybe the TV is damaged, maybe the window is damaged. Think in something that is damaged and tell me tomorrow, okay? So that's the homework. No more. See you tomorrow, guys. Have a wonderful night. Sleep tight and see you tomorrow at 8 p.m., okay?
Thank you,
Thank you,
teacher.
Thank
teacher.
you.
Thanks to you.
Bye,
Have a good
everybody.
night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.